Hello and welcome to this Oak Tree English video on the Ascentis ESOL Level 1 and Level 2 reading exams. Ascentis is one of the most popular awarding bodies for ESOL. I should point out that this video is neither sponsored by nor endorsed by Ascentis. They have a specific format of how to pass their exams, which I'm going to share with you now. Firstly, the differences. Level 1 has an 80-minute time limit, while Level 2 has 100 minutes. Level 1 has 18 questions across 4 texts with a pass mark of 12. Level 2 has 21 questions across 4 texts and requires a minimum of 14 marks to pass. Level 1 is assessed against 6 criteria, Level 2 against 7. But what are these criteria? I'm glad you asked. You have to achieve each of these criteria at least once. There are 3 chances to get each one. If you get all 3 questions testing a criteria wrong, even if you get all the others right, you still will not pass the exam. The best way to do it is to get all the questions right. The criteria are 1.1, the gist. Identify the main points of a text, or in other words, get the gist. This might look like choose the best title for the text or for a paragraph, or what does this paragraph discuss, or this text is about X, Y, or Z, true or false. The next criteria is 1.2. This is identifying the main events of a text, which could ask you to choose a paragraph to insert a given line in, or ask if a piece of information is true or false. 1.3 is about language features. Using language features to identify meaning in text, which tests 3 possible things. Organizational features like headings, subheadings, text boxes, pictures, photos, graphs, etc. Punctuation like the use of colons or speech marks. Why has a colon been used here? It's probably to introduce a list. That's what colons are for. Why have speech marks been used here? It's probably to introduce speech. That's what speech marks are for. The clue's in the name. And also grammar, such as why has the passive voice been used, or why has this particular tense been used. 1.4 is identifying the meaning of vocabulary in a text. That is, it will often be in context. Remember, context is king. So it might be tested with questions like, what does the word in the text mean? What word in the text means the same as chicken? Or what does poultry mean? There should be words you don't know in the text, and you should be able to work them out from context. Next we go to 2.1. Identify the purpose of a text. This will be tested by asking whether a text is there to criticize or discuss or evaluate or summarize or warn, or other related verbs from Bloom's taxonomy. Google it and thank me later. Sometimes it will be explicit, saying exactly what you should write down, and sometimes it will be implicit, which means you have to read between the lines, trying to understand what is being said, though it may not be said using the words. Then you have 3.1. This is to obtain specific information from the text. It's basically comprehension like you've been doing all your life. It'll be tested with the key phrase, according to the text. Remember here, your opinion and your knowledge is not being tested, but rather the opinion of the writer or the characters in the text. It is basic comprehension. For level 2, there's an extra criteria. Level 1, you can go to sleep for a second. Level 2, 3.2 is evaluate information from different sources. This is where you put two parts of the text together to find the answer, such as comparing two comments in a web forum. It may ask who expresses a certain emotional response, or ask if a writer seems approving, confused, or disappointed, or indeed cynical. You will frequently find this with text with more than one opinion in it. For example, a web forum. In both cases, the exam must be taken without dictionaries and completed in black or blue ink. There will be 4 texts with some questions. Now, try not to get caught in the time-wasting experience of reading every word. I know it's a reading exam. I'm telling you not to read every word. Go figure. Instead, you should SARC. That is, survey the text. You can tell many things about a text from a glance of 10 seconds. You can know the topic from the title, the type of text from the layout, is it in columns, an idea of the content from the pictures, the level of formality just by looking down, are there a lot of apostrophes, is there any slang, and a personal or impersonal style, is it addressed to an individual or to a group. You can get all of this from 10 seconds. After this 10-second challenge, you can skim read it by letting your eyes bounce like a stone on water, reading the first line of each paragraph. And this will allow you to navigate the text well. Once you have surveyed the text, you can analyze the question. What are the key words? What is it asking? What skills or knowledge is it testing? This should take another minute. The rest of the time should be spent on referencing the text. Remember, you are not being tested on what you know, but rather on how well you can read and understand a text. Having surveyed successfully, you will be able to navigate the text to find the answers. Finally, you must remember to check your work. If you've left any questions to the end, go back and complete them. If you are unsure of any, go back and double check. Make sure you are being judged on your best work. So, to recap, there are 4 texts to read and understand in 80 or 100 minutes, depending on whether you're level 1 or level 2. There are 6 or 7 criteria to satisfy, depending on whether you're level 1 or level 2. You must answer all questions. Guys, you've got this. Go and enjoy yourselves. This is quite a fun exam to do. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If so, please remember to like, share and subscribe to Oak Tree English. Thank you.